Does anybody really know what's going on with the Burning Lands anymore? Well, let me fill you in. Burning Lands was a game that was supposed to be the next Hell Let Loose, set, however, in Vietnam. It released a lot of cool gameplay and a really solid Kickstarter. Because of this, it reached its £40,000 goal, and it was looking like it was on its way. Until the developers came out not long ago, saying that, one, they weren't exactly being paid, but not only that, there was a direction in terms of management that they just didn't like. Chance, who was the lead developer, was not listening to them. They wanted to put in some sort of structure, but he liked it the way it was, yet wasn't putting in the right amount of effort that would feel like he was worth being on the project. Because of this, most of the development team left, and Chance went silent. Until kind of recently. He released a post on the Burning Lands official website saying, "The noise and progress." For some, this may reopen some old wounds, and for others, it will add clarity to the situation. In general, Zero Hour Interactive, which was the supposed company behind the game, wasn't necessarily a company. It was just a name. They didn't actually hire any of the developers that were working on it. They were also contacted by a guy called Alex Dragotesco. On the 15th of November, they said, because a lot of the developers have left the process and, of course, have been excluded from developing the game anymore, following assets should be removed from the game itself. This is because a guy called Alex has reserved all the rights to the work, and the work is not removed. By late November, there will be a lawsuit. Then DMCA takedowns were done on the Burning Lands YouTube channel. Anything that contained some of these assets were then taken from them. I mean, the general conclusion was the developers that left were being mistreated. Chance was not talking to them in the right way, and that's kind of where everybody moved away from it. But a lot of the stuff to do with DMCA takedowns were not really coming out. Other cease and desists came to Chance, and the game looked like it was dead in the water. And on the whole, it was sad, but it looked like some of the developers at least got some sort of justice. Until fairly recently, where Chance has come out saying that Burning Lands, well, it's still in development. New videos of weather effects have come out, unlisted on the YouTube channel, but you can get through this forum post. The engine has now been updated to Unreal Engine 5.3.2. Rain effects have come in. Of course, a lot more bug fixing, vehicle handling adjustments. It looks like the game is back on the road. Not only this, but they have started asking for people to join them again. And this is where it starts to get a little bit dodgy. You see, I'm completely for people joining this process and the Burning Lands not dying. Whilst it went through a lot of issues, and there are a lot of people that felt misled by the development itself, this is a game that I always wanted to succeed, and I think there'll be very few people that are watching this video that don't want to play a Vietnam simulator game. Yet, it just didn't seem like it was going through the right development motion, and everybody that was involved seemed to be losing out. We are excited to announce that you can now purchase access to our testing phase through 3 exclusive tiers. This opportunity has been created to enhance our development efforts and testing procedures to further support our development. And this is the thing that worries me, because Kickstarter works, where a crowd-funded project either gets funded and the money goes to whoever set it up, or it doesn't. If it doesn't reach its full goal, nobody gets any money, and everybody that, of course, put their risk into that gets refunded. But because it looks like the Kickstarter will no longer be funded, everybody that was involved should have got their money back. So how are they going to carry on development? Well, they've put Kickstarter to the side. It looks like they're asking for money directly through their website that you can do through what I am only assuming, and this is not fact, probably through some sort of PayPal. Why do I assume this? Well, Chance, the lead developer, actually asked me before all this debacle went down to send him money in order to be able to play the game early myself. Just to record YouTube videos on it, I had to send him money through PayPal. Somewhat suspicious, and I know for a fact that this happened to other YouTubers once more. Tier 1 is $150 US. It features 2 keys, one for instant access, the second from April 2024. Tier 2 is $110 US, which is 1 key, and then Tier 3 is $85 US, which is 1 key that you get access to the game in April of 2024. Sounds like an April Fool's joke. Not only this though, but the Discord has started to ramp back up. Despite there being a long time of no talk, well, it seems like they're coming back, and back in a big way. Most of it is trying to promote this deal of sending them money in order to get access to the game to test it out. Someone called it out saying, "I find it strange, now I have to pay $15 more for less than I would have received supporting the Kickstarter." Chance responds saying, 270 Australian dollars on Kickstarter, and the same thing is now 227 Australian dollars. So it's actually cheaper. Okay, fair enough. Also, that is a ridiculous amount to be asking for just to get early access to the game. That is actually mental. This is, in no secret way, just a replacement for the Kickstarter. Because they cannot do it through that platform because of such bad press. They will not get funded. So they've decided to do it behind closed doors. Is this bad? I mean, only if the game doesn't get made. It just feels very sketchy. And it feels like something that I think a lot of people should be aware of. Not only that, but the whole notion of paying to playtest a game feels very strange. I accept that developers need money in order to create a title. Of course, it's so expensive, especially when you start hiring people, which it looks like Burning Lands is starting to do again. But saying that it is part of just the playtest feels weird. Why not just be upfront? Why not just say you're helping develop and fund the game itself? Why say that you have to pay in order to play it? Then people are literally paying to help in some ways bug test a title for you. That should be something that you paid them to be doing. And this is Chance once again being very backwards. It just seems very strange. I don't have anything personally against this guy, and I actually think the idea in his game looks really, really cool, and I'd love to play it. But everything in terms of the direction and the approach that he keeps going with always seems sketchy, like something is trying to be hidden. I'm not saying that that's particularly happening, but it's very clear that that's the vibe the community has. I think most people watching this video have seen that, and that's why people pulled out of the Kickstarter. That's why so many videos came out saying you'd probably want to stay away from this. Not because it is a scam, not because it is necessarily the worst thing in the world, but because it just doesn't seem transparent in any way. It's incredible that you've managed to make something that everybody wanted, that filled a huge gap in the market in terms of a Vietnam simulation, and then made everybody scared of it. Because that's all it is. People don't hate you, people don't hate your game, they're just scared of putting any money towards it. Because not only the development team that have left in the past, saying that there were many, many issues with development, with people not being paid, whether it was voluntarily or involuntarily at the time, it obviously caused some rifts. If you don't want to make a company, if you don't want to hire developers through the conventional way, you can't be surprised when they then revolt against you and ask to take some of their assets back that they've made for free, at least what I'm assuming. According to Jance, though, on their Discord, none of the DMCAs were carried through, apparently because the people that filed them didn't have a leg to stand on. I think partly that might be true. I think a lot of it was anger from the previous development team. And if I'm going to be honest, there's so much that has been blown up and so muddied. But this just needs a fresh start. Maybe Chance is not the right guy to be leading this project anymore because of everything that's happened in the past. And I think in terms of the community, a community that really want a game like Burning Lands, that has a lot of positivity and hype behind it, or at least it did before everything came out, if it's about the game being made, and it's about a real chance at a successful title, I don't know if the current situation calls for a lead developer like this. I mean, especially a guy that calls people fuckwits for criticizing them. Strange.